Hello and welcome to another coaching video. In this one we have a Platinum Ekko against a Zac whose name is OTP Ivan. So if he is or isn't, we'll find out. Zac's pretty easy to play. We are starting leashless on the red. And in this elo, you're looking at people with an absolutely hilariously bad frame of mentality. They look at the game the wrong way. Everything's a blame game. We see here Aurelia showing up late, which means leash topside. We saw that, but if you're in game and you're Platinum and you can't recognize that, then you have bigger problems. But a lot of it is about taking your knowledge and understanding of the game at a mechanical level, but also, you know, a general level whereby you're definitely better than gold, but you are so far away from diamond, and the gap between, say, gold and platinum is way smaller than platinum and diamond, and of course, that's way smaller than the gap between diamond and master tier. So that kind of gap actually, ironically, increases despite the LP gains being exactly the same, right? You're 400, 400, 400. So what we're going to be looking at here is how do we stop having this sort of bad jungle platinum decision making, but also just realize that platinum junglers are so easy to abuse. Why do you think so many content creators, when they've made clickbait YouTube content, you know, back in the day, especially when they were Master Plus, were just playing platinum level accounts? It gives you some viable sort of competitive nature, but at the same time, it's easy to pop off and control the game. And sure, some bad things can happen, but at least it's a somewhat of a, hey, this guy tilted, or hey, this guy's beatable, and so on. And that's the thing you want to abuse, right? And for those of you who want to escape the elo that you're in, because obviously, let's face it, you want the next step, the Jungle Improvement PDF has been released on my site for absolute free. 37 pages of jungle terminology, exercises, and tips to help you carry, win, and climb. virkayu.gg's comprehensive courses will give you all of the up-to-date information you need to climb on your MMR. This is all in addition to our powerful one-on-one coaching and access to the coaching VOD library. Sign up today and get a 20% discount that goes until the end of January. Take your potential and convert it into reality. The junglers you can remove will become tilted. The laners you can remove will become tilted, but we have to be active. So, we know the Aurelia leashes topside. Our Yasuo goes for the mega kill here. We are Ekko, we are half HP, which means I know we're leashless. It's better in these cases when you're leashless and you want to match tempo or get ahead of tempo to maybe cut a camp out. I don't like when they get leashed topside. Now you can flex this, okay? So the Zac gets leashed here and goes up, fine. Renekton's going to push, Renekton's most likely going to get ganked, whatever. I am at least sequencing down, so I can do the full clear, no stress. We have now decided to leave out the Grump. I don't like this. I'd rather you leave out the Wolves. You know, we can do the Raptors, we can leave out the Wolves, we can do the Blue, we can go into the Grump. If nothing's available, or if the enemy jungler shows up, right, for this, and you just have no prior bot lane, you have no prior mid lane, and you go Red, Krugs, Raptors, Blue. This is the flex moment. I have time to do Grump into Crab, but if the map is so destroyed that I just cannot afford to go for that Crab and contest it no matter what, cool, I can float up to the Wolves and then just reverse click to the top side. So Platinum junglers, you need to start thinking about flexing your pathing, flexing your decision making based upon what really is happening, and stop worrying about what should happen. Because obviously this affects low elo and everybody also, but you must understand that this is critical for your sort of ability to carry games. So we're going to go ahead and cut the Grump, snack the Scuttle, but we're down a level to the Zac. Now we do have prior, fortunately for us, and we are able to go in here, but again, do we win? You have to make the calculations. The Nami shows up with a lot of damage pre-nerf, and with a bit of an ignite damage. So like, was this a good use of our time as a jungler in terms of our own experience and fusion? No. Who's going to rotate first? Doesn't matter. Right? Because even if you have prior, they might not rotate it. Half the time, when a lane is losing or shoved in, they'll take the opportunity to collapse on you. Well, they just want to use their advantage on the 2v1. So here, I don't like this. I would prefer to do the Grump, look for the Scuttle, just as he did. But I'm not really looking necessarily to go in any sort of long fight. I don't have to base this early. I think the ultimate play is, if I have to base before full clear plus Crab and maybe a gank, that's cut it too short and I maybe made too much of an aggressive decision. Now that you know the Zac's just going to shatter around the back here, most likely he goes and takes a top Scuttle. So what we can do is actually out of base, go and gank the top side. But I do like the concept of, hey, look, let me just reverse clear down and gank top lane. So obviously as the Zac crosses mid lane, not too much was hidden about that decision. Look at this now, we're leaving base, so when you're leaving base here, we want to pay attention to these things. So obviously this first clear didn't pan out the way we kind of wanted it to, Again, I do think a little bit of a reverse is great, but obviously if this lane is a hyper push lane with the Dravenheimer, then this kind of counter gank can work as well. So I do like being present there. It's just a case of I'd rather have taken the Gromp than the Wolves, because that second spawn Gromp is going to be more valuable experience-wise. However, let's just call it a wash. We tried, it wasn't so close, whatever. Now we're leaving base with a blasting one. Thumbs up, that's good. We see the top lane here. This is where you got to press tab as a jungler. I coach a lot of Platinum junglers. They don't press tab enough. You need these small little informational gains to kind of track what's happening. Watch the Aurelia. Wave's crashing. She's died once. Renekton has killed her once, but is down 7 CS with a wave crashing. We know the Zac's going to be here, so this crab, out of the question. Press tab, see the control ward. She is now basically going to shove here, move on down. Right, come on, move on down. There we go. She knows she can't go in there because tower. She knows you're most likely going to be showing up from, you know, the bottom lane into the base, into the top side. So she goes down, you press tab, you see the control ward. She's going to shove again, no control ward. Now, she didn't move down, you know, all the way down here, but most likely she just control warded right there, which of course she did, right? And that's because we can see her move down, go up, press tab. Oh, look, the control ward is gone. Haha. So what I would love to be seeing here is, okay, look, she went down to ward. I know Zac's here. Zac might look to do something about this. Can I set up a gank or a counter gank? Or do I want to go Krugs, Raptors, and then loop back? But why would you do that? Their vision in the pit from the scuttle. So the Zac obviously is on the top side. We saw this, we know this, it's obvious. And of course, he's forced to flash here. This would have been a beautiful counter game from the Ekko. All right, an absolute beautiful counter game. And we have the scanner. See, like we're wasting our control ward. We don't want the control ward to sit here. We could just do the Krugs, scan this bush. We know the Zac's going to show up. Wait for her to go in. Wait for the Zac to show up. You chuck a W. You don't have flash because we wasted it. We didn't want to lose the flash on the bottom lane, but we did. Have a flash here. We hit the W. Double stun. Renekton turns with full fury. He doesn't have to burn his flash. Maybe we get a kill. Maybe we don't. Doesn't really matter. The point is the decision to go forth and make this. Mechanically, I'll leave you guys to make the plays. But I don't like wasting our control ward here. We could have just scanned. The control ward's better placed, you know, down in these bushes, in their jungle, defending our jungle against invaders. And now we press tab, we see she has a control ward. We know she's moved down, right? What are we sitting here for? This is an absolute insane waste of time. And now we're basing. Why are we basing? We're basing with 111 gold. Like, she knows you're most likely in the area. She knows she can just chill here because of the mini wave. Look at this. Look at this. You've got to help your Renekton, bro. Like, this wave is just going to slowly push. She's just chilling. Going to be pushing this direction. He's too low to commit. The Zac has shown himself to be in the area. Zac probably just goes blue, Gromp, Wolves, full clears down, loses this to us, crosses mid lane, takes this, ganks this, says, cool, I'm going to go and do this. And if Renekton stays, I'm there. Lobby E over the wall. So the Ekko has totally missed everything that he could have used to really dominate the game in 5 minutes 30. And of course, wasted time. So if you're going to go Krugs Raptors and go to the mid lane and sacrifice your top lane as we do like a kebab, you know, then let him go in the spit. Do your business. We see the Zac here. We see that we do this. Is this gankable? Yes or no? No? Fine. Cut down. Let me steal the Raptors, right? Because you should know at this point, respawn of the second Gromp, 420. Nice. 440, 435 to 445. 505, 510 to 510. 5 minutes to 510. That's the range, right? So I actually had a coaching session with a Kane literally yesterday, right? And we had a very similar scenario where we did a full clear, but we had the wolf camp reset. And I'm going to upload this to the coaching VOD library, actually, maybe today or definitely over the weekend. And what happened was, I was a bit crazy with some of my strategies too. Sometimes I get too aggressive. It was a Ragnarok session, so we have like the live coaching and then the VOD review in depth. And we got everything going. We got a nice gank bottom lane. That was great, right? As our Heimerdinger dies. And what happened was we leave the base. We snack the Krugs, we go top lane, we get the gank. Very, very similar scenario. But the enemy jungler has actually full cleared upside. Drives by mid lane, moves down here, tries to gank bot lane. You press tab, no itemization. Guy chases to a tower dive that was never going to happen. So what are you doing when you see this? An Ekko full clears, goes out, it was an Ekko, the enemy jungler, comes down, dives, and I hope you can imagine what I'm talking about here. I'm using the mouse to best explain it. We kill the top laner. What's going through your mind if you're thinking about these timers, right? We just said them, 420, 440, 505. You know, if you sequence properly, then this will be afterwards, but usually that Krog camp's a bit detached, but you can see 624 is up. So what I did was I said, hey, look, the clock is 545, right? Solo laners are dinging 6. So Ekko shows bottom lane here, walks across, and we're going to his Krugs. He's staying out with no items. he's going to keep doing this quadrant and most likely reset all sequence all the way up. Let's go and steal this Grump. This Grump was going to be up. So he full sequenced up. The last camp to respawn was going to be the Grump. In live coaching, I said, whoa, don't base. Very similar scenario. Just go take the Grump. Now that benefit was, of course, we were going opposite clearing. This game we're going the same clearing, or top to bottom, right? So these little things are the things you have to think about. So if you're Platinum, I hope you're following what I'm saying, because it's the kind of shit that gets you Diamond very easily, because Diamond players don't think like this. Mechanically, they're better than you. No stress, but this is nice, right? All of that is hypothetical because that's could have and should have and would have. Now, however, we decided to waste our time top lane. Again, we shouldn't have wasted our time top lane. We should have been here sooner, but we're going into a minion wave. We're not really playing it perfectly, and of course, Nami is just such a disgusting champion that we're not able to get the kills. I would kind of hope here, like if you're a Volibear, if you're Maokai. So it turns out Zac also, yeah, good smite. I was gonna say good smite there, nice. So, you know, that's dumb. So he does equally plat things, but again, he just did exactly the same thing. It's a mirror image, just not quite a mirror image. The Zac did a full clear, lost a crab, took a crab, ganked the lane, did a full clear again, ganked bot lane, sorry, he didn't do the Krugs. He has no itemization, so it's so silly. This is dumb. What are we doing here? We're moving, telegraphing into the river. Why? You should see this. I know the crab is up. I know you know that the Yasuo has moved down. You're telling them where you're going. Go back up. Go back up. Because here, right, yeah, we've got the second spawn of the wolf camp, but we should have the second spawn of the Grump camp available to us instead, which is a huge boon for us, because it'll get us damn close to 6. This crab will get us 6, but, you know, the Grump will get us really, really close to 6. And we could just push this out, but unfortunately, they just came to lane, you know? So you have these advantages, but you gotta track the mid lane of realms. So Platinum junglers, your awareness matrix needs to go up. The jungle improvement PDF really has a lot of exercises about, he's just chilling in the Dragon Punch. The jungle improvement PDF has a lot of exercises about improving your tracking, your ganking, your awareness, and it involves basically how to VOD review some of these scenarios to the best of your ability. But this is dumb, right? This is so dumb because basically you should know, okay, Yasuo left mid lane, he's coming down. Zac did a second sequence, went back to base. So what I anticipate here from the Zac, actually, hold on. I anticipate him to come down to the bottom side again for the Crab Dragon and Krugs, but he also could very feasibly go top side. Bottom side, there you go. I didn't know, but I didn't want to pause it. I wanted to show you that I was thinking that in real time, and that's a Platinum effect, right? What would be best for a jungler in terms of his sequencing? If you know the Ekko's here, for example, or having to base. What are you doing, my friend? Woo! What are you doing? What am I witnessing? Yeah, just flashing. Platinum on platinum mental damage is what I'm getting from this game. So logically, if he's sequencing down, then Zac's gonna get all of these things, see the Ekko down here and get full counter jungling plus Herald. So he could just do the equal and opposite game. Instead, he just chases down another kill with no passive and dies. The Ekko says, hey, I'm not 6. Why didn't I just go for this? Get the free kill here. I mean, it would have been nice to have 6, but he decides to go without 6, which I guess is also very important. You got to weigh the pros and cons. Do I have time for 6? Do I have time for 7? Do I have time for 8 before this gank will sort of expire? The window will expire. That's kind of the decision you have to make. But we know the Yasuo's moving down, so you've got to think, right? Is he rotating? Move on up, take the Grump, hit the plant. Aha! I see you. And then, of course, he's most likely going to detach and go to base, because you would have healed up from the Grump. And then you can take this. And their bottom lane is in base. Zac is dead. So you have this advantage, and then you can fall back to your wolves, should they be available, yada yada, and go next plays. But instead, like, what? Like, there is such... Ekko main, by the way. So if you're Platinum and you're like, bro, I have the same mechanics as the Diamond, bro, it's just my decision making, bro. It's like, no, you don't. If you did, you wouldn't be Platinum, because mechanics can get you a long way in Platinum, in lane at least. In jungle, we need to start thinking about this kind of stuff, my friends. We really, really do. Because we saw the Zac up here, who sees you still down bot lane there, and says, thanks. So, the Zac is getting bailed out, because you're both doing the same thing, which is not thinking dynamically about your pathing directions, where the enemy jungle is going to be, and you're not paying attention to the little bit of information that the enemy jungle... We did not go bot lane again. I mean, still no one's taking this crab. So, you know, when you're gold, when you're silver and gold, I don't want everyone to watch every level of coaching. Now, I know it sounds self-serving, but just remember, get ads on these at all at the moment, right? Eventually, sure, but there's no monetary gain here. This is just, I just want to give you value. I just want everyone to be a better jungler so that I can watch every VOD in the world and be like, wow, that's beautiful. I don't want to watch this, right? So it's self-serving in that I just want to witness jungle greatness, but hopefully you guys want to be great junglers too, and you want to climb, and you want to get to your next elo. So if you're silver, gold, bronze, iron, whatever, it doesn't matter, unranked, and you look at this, does this look unattainable to me? Let me know in the comments. Does this look unattainable to you if you're silver? Does this look like something you could never reach? No. Because you think about you think about jungle like this, right? You think about these things. The difficulty is reconciling your mechanics with your pool, with the jungle decision making, which you will get to eventually. But you can see this looks beatable. This is exploitable. He is not focusing edge camp sequencing. He's lost a herald now. We're losing this crab here to, actually no, we got the crab. Sorry. Too busy ranting about it. We know that the Zac took this, most likely goes bottom side. The Zac's just going to gank bot lane here, gank mid lane, and take a dragon, and then use a herald for plates. Well, we're going top side now, weak side, to the Aurelia, who is... That's not in the W. Well, we got a kill. Zac says, yeah, thanks. I mean, the Zac's 0-2-1, and he's making you look a bit clunky in terms of your map mobility and pathing because you're just on the wrong side. Bottom lane is winning too, so this was like, why aren't we diving, killing, repeating bottom lane? Like, and I mean in a sequencing sense, not in terms of, hey, let's sit in the bush, bro, and wait. Like, this is like, you've got bro gym science, this is bro gym jungling. You know? He gets it. He dies, but the jungle's not here. The jungle's half HP walking through mid lane. Passive, Yasuo, he's going in, ignite. He misses, but he kills him anyway. The Jhin has rotated, the Ekko has rotated, the W misses entirely. We get a shield though, right? I mean, if you have to cross from here to here, so this game's giving me a bit of stress reflux. If we had to go from here to here, you know, not good. So what I advise is, and of course I'm definitely being more serious here, but a lot of it's facetious. I want Platinums to be better. I want Platinums to get Diamond. I want everyone to get Diamond. I want Diamonds to get Mastered. Yeah, I'm in it for the best, but obviously I've got to enjoy myself a little bit and hopefully showcase why things can be frustrating to watch, but I'm not making fun of anyone. I'm not one of those people. Platinums, when you are in the scenario as the Ekko, 3-1-1, you know this. If you're a laner in Platinum, if you happen to be a jungle in Platinum, what language are you seeing in chat right now? Pretty toxic, right? A lot of ego too. So if you're the Ekko and you're 3-1-1 and you feel like, hey, I'm doing a good job, watch your VOD and reflect on these first 30 minutes. You could have been like 6-1-1 with a 2k gold lead, both objectives. You could have such a big lead over the Zac because he has no idea what he's doing. And if he plays Ivern, then he really doesn't know what he's doing. The Iverns don't know how to jungle. They know how to Ivern, right? It's a different philosophy. It's like Shaco. Shaco doesn't really know how to jungle, they just know how to Shaco. But Shaco on something else, you're like, what was that? See, that I am making fun of. His W's are pretty horrific. So we know that if he was like trying to be Tom Brady, it wouldn't work, right? And again, all the Zac is doing is what I want the Ekko to think more about doing, which is counter ganks. The Zac is just minding his own damn business. He's like, I'm gonna do this quadrant. Oh, a gank's happening. Guess I'm gonna EO for the wall, get a counter gank. Oh, I have the Herald Cool. I'm gonna activate this for plates. Oh wait, 14 minutes. Oh, what a silly dummy I am. Which is also annoying. Like, don't miss the gold influx. Just use it. Like, just go punch it somewhere to get plates. You know? Yeah. So, the Ekko's point of view, we missed a possibility to track counter ganking, which is critical to why this game has not taken off the ground. Our lanes have been left to their own devices. We've had a winning Draven that we did not fully support Snowball, Dive, Counter Jungle, and Shadow. We were way too much top lane. We missed the vision information that she gave us that could have led us to track and counter gank. And because we didn't do those things, the Zac was able to get the counter ganks. So Turbo FF Machine is trying to force them to Turbo FF, but instead, our play is FFing. So, you know. Zac now, obviously, like, just mental exercise. Yasuo's tendency is what? To roam bot lane. What has he done yet again? Roamed bot lane. So what should we be thinking about as a jungler? I think such that we can counter gank, predict, and deflect. The Zac's just going to go here and hold this most likely. The Zac here, are we just running it down to just hit the tower, or what is this? Oh, look. Mental exercise number 2. If Zac was sequencing up, counter-ganked his top side, took his top camps most likely, where is he going next? Bottom side. Usually junglers are quite binary in that sense. And it's a rule of thumb, right? Hey, they show top lane, I anticipate they'll go bot lane. Could they reverse field? Yes, and the good jungler will reverse field. Challenger junglers will do twice down, down, and you'll think, I'm on to you, and then they'll just shove top lane again, right? Or they'll go down, down, and just go straight down again, the repeat gank, into the counter jungle, shoving you out, oopsie, shoving my mic out, and that's how they get you, right? So swapping your tendencies can be pretty good as well. But yeah, I think this, plus that Kane Platinum coaching VOD I'm going to upload, you know, some funny moments for sure, some crazy moments that we thought about, and definitely some overanalyzing. Like, without a doubt, overanalyzing everything. But I feel like if you overanalyze in Platinum, you gain a lot of advantages, even if you do like 10% of those little things, those little tips, right? But we definitely missed early. I think early was okay. The leashes sucks, and I do understand that, but it's not about that first rotation. That is what it is. It's about after the first base of the blasting one, we're not thinking about the Zac. Like, where's the Zac now? What is he doing? It's a Zac Yasuo. Did we affect mid lane in any sort of real way that could help the Ryze do something? No. This Yasuo just roamed. Okay, Zac's just getting the objectives. Like, we're on the opposite side to the objectives every time. And I'll credit to Zac, right? I don't think he was permanently tracking and thinking about these wise strategies, right? He's not some sort of savant monk, jungle pathing extraordinaire. So like this kind of stuff. Like, I know we're pushing it out here, but it looks like we don't know what to do. So we decided just to push waves, half HP, low HP. Ryze could have just based and walked up. Like, why do we, like, we tell it, like, this is silly. This is silly. Like, hopefully you guys also stare at the minimap. No flash, no ult, dragging up. No flash, no ult, dragging up, basing, no HP. Why are we... My ADCs don't do that. My ADCs don't do that at all. My ADCs just die. I want that ADC. See, that guy, the Jhin, has had a push lane, a shitty lane. The Nami has died. He's had the Ekko setting up a tent, okay? But he's 4-0-1. This is the kind of guy that I think, if he plays like this consistently, will be able to match WinCon and carry games. He could easily get to Platinum. Sorry, Diamond. But if you're gold and you're paying attention to these little things, I definitely think there's a... Like, he's very clearly tilted. But I think he's not tilted because he's necessarily frustrated at his laners, I hope. He's tilted because he hasn't done a good enough job of affecting this game in any way. It was basically like having an AFK jungler. And don't get me wrong, this isn't a Flame Platinum Junglers video. It's a listen up, drop the ego, right? And this is for anyone, myself included. I also have games where I'm like, shit, man, my team sucks. Everyone has a jungler, but as soon as you go in the VOD and you do those exercises in the Jungle Improvement PDF, which is absolutely free, and I did them, that's why I made it. That's what got me to the next level, was thinking about my review that way. You realize I'm a bit of a donkey, whereas Shrek, that was not a good play. And you know, maybe your reaction won't be as funny as mine, where you laugh at yourself. I mean, certainly sometimes I yelled at myself in the mirror first thing in the morning. You know, what have you done with your life? Who are you? What kind of jungling was that? That was bullshit. You yell, you know? Not really. But I mean, I know some people who do review like that. I would prefer the self-love over self-hatred, as I self-hate myself every day. So what we're going to do here is move down to the bottom lane, as is the way of perfectionists, always looking to go for the next level. This has evolved into a life lesson, because I think that's the only thing you can do in Platinum, is stop affecting blame on everybody else, put it on yourself. There's always a way you could have carried a game in this elo. Yes. Now, of course, everyone's pushed up. The game's looking kind of negative state. First and foremost, fix your mechanics, my friend. Make sure you are not doing dumb pathing, shoving into the dragon pit. Like, we see the bot lane move up. We know what's happening. They were finally taking this tower. In the Ringo video I just put up on the main channel, you know, it was a terrible game. I don't know. Everyone has bad games. And what happens is, 0-4-2 at like 6 minutes. Starting Wolves, level 1, 242. Hopefully you've watched it on the main channel. And you end up flipping the whole entire game and just jungle diffing it, like in a very literal 19 kills, one-shotting everybody, supreme plays, not even mechanically good plays, just like knowing enough about the champion and the power spikes to win. That's a perfect example of how you would carry a Platinum game. Because now people are like, oh, hold on. In Silver, the ADC's over push. And I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, In gold, do the ADCs have a push? Yeah. In platinum? Oh yeah. Diamond? Oof. Master T? Yep. Challenger? Yeah, they do that as well. So they're always going to overpush you. And look, we've got 2 people bot lane overcommitting. If you are fed enough, and you see the Renekton here, and they have no tower threat, and there's no objective, right? We could easily just kill this guy to decompress, run across the river, kill someone else. All of a sudden, their bot lane runs out of base. This person's dead. Now there's 2 again. You kill those 2 again. You've created a loop where their spawn times are so discombobulated, they're never going to have 5 to set their feet. And if you're an Ekko, an assassin, that's when you take over. So you never allow them into team fighting. The problem is we're not fed enough to be able to do that. We're not fed enough to be able to do that. So as a platinum jungler, please think about those kinds of things. Do not put the elo on a pedestal. Treat it as it is, right? Take the mask off, look at the reality of the situation, remove the facade, and look at how easily you could punish things in this game. And hopefully, that's what you see from this. I hope that's what I hope this is more motivational, right? I hope it's motivational to all platinum players, everywhere. Okay, Rai shows up to the top lane. Our macro needs to be good. We're going in here, see, like we could have sequenced in a position to be the one killing this person, but now Baron is up. So there's the risk, right? And of course, in this elo, Yasuo's, Irelia's, Zacs, they will 3-stack this easily. Oh, they are actually, aren't they? I mean, I said this in the gold video. There was a gold, I put out a gold coaching video, the first one, right? I said, I love it. I love it. He went and snuck it himself in gold, 21 minutes. Do it, it's easy. The Rise is like, maybe they're doing it. Because he's a smurf, right? And the Ekko's like, true damage, true damage, true damage. I don't like K-pop, true damage. And then he's just missing it entirely, so. Yeah, where my pentacle homies at, for real. And of course, the Zac goes in here, hits the E knock. When you say everything in a sort of like a pseudo-colonial South African accent, it just sounds funny. You gotta have the American accent for half these things. We say Americanisms with like a British or South African accent, it just sounds odd. Anyway, like this is just, for me, just absolutely silly nonsense. Why are we even in this situation? Now you're going, wow, Zac's broken. Of course Zac's broken. Ekko's strong too. Ekko is easily something you can use to get diamond. These mid to late game macro phases, please, my friends, please. Look for the snack. They're all bot with no objective, and you guys can do this even if you're losing. Do it. It's worth the trade. I'll trade inhib for this right now. Because we can always go back to base, hold, push out, decompress. The whole time this inhib is down, we have the Baron, right? Likewise, if people are overcommitting, there's no objective up, now's my time to make that split pick. I need to be strong enough to make the pick right here with my top laner, because if I do that, then I know I can flow back through my jungle, catch the farm, decompress the map, kill someone else, create the discombobulation of spawn timers. Yeah, I mean, when you're 3-4-1, you're 130 CS, you're only 4 CS ahead of a Zac, you're missing every single W, which again is quite funny because the Kane coaching, he's a Kane one trick and his mechanics are usually very, very good, but for some reason last night he just missed every W. We were absolutely laughing about it. Consistency mechanically is obviously important, but it was just really funny. So it's a lot of similarities actually, but he's really improving consistently. So I'm hoping that by the end of the year, he'll be like a diamond coaching client, you know. So it should be really fun. I love watching improvement over time. I love watching platinums go to diamonds because for me it's like that next level. It's just you just hit another level, and obviously from diamond to master is like. But I love that process. I love watching people say. I'm such a teacher sometimes, but I love watching that process. No joke. Just like watching people improve and hit goals. It's just fun. It's just fun to see it. And then if I even have like a 1% effect on people who reach those things, lovely, absolutely lovely. Time well spent. So in this game, as I was saying, that you got to keep the macro and the stuff juicy fresh, which means if you're down 2 levels to a Zac or like a guy with Ivern in his name, or you're down the same level as the ADC, you just stop playing the game. And this is the thing, right? This is also the most notable thing about platinums. Why am I talking so much about mentality refocus, perspective, goals, anecdotal stories, and other things? Because he stopped playing the game. I have the time to do this and try and get you to reframe your own perspective on your climb because he stopped playing the game. And this is what happens in Platinum. You would have seen a lot of videos recently, Platinum players, even on this channel. It's just they get to a point where like, and they switch off their brains. They just run like, why couldn't we kill this person? Because you're down 2 levels, my friend. You're down 2 levels. You're 3k gold behind as a player. Your team's 5k gold behind. You have no dragons, no heralds. You have no map control. And it was there for the taking. The Zac just sequence, counter ganked, and said, cool, objective because you're opposite side. So that's always on you as a player, if you're the Ekko. This for me was a big mess up. The chilling down here 20 years was a big mess up. The being chunked here and having to go back to base from the Yasuo was a problem because we did kill the Zac. I'm like, all right, we're back in the game. We're back in the game, right? He tried to get... It's like his mechanics are slow motion, right? Like he wanted to get the E, but he just chucked the Q out really slowly. And Jin's really strong right now. What we needed to do was position out, see, like here mechanically. Your ult procs it, right? So what you needed to do was position your W here, make the Jin think that you were going to ult out, and see if you could buy enough time, well, like, wherever, it doesn't matter. See if you could synergize your ghost with the W, so you could land in it, proc it, stun him, heal up, burst him, and then kill him with an EQ auto. That's what we wanted to do. But we missed our W, misused it, and our ult is wasted. We really needed to use our ult plus a W together in a combo to kill this guy ISO. If you're Rengar, you just kill him. But, yeah. No, you can take the shield. Like, you could take the shield and then, yeah, if we live, it doesn't matter, I suppose. Yeah, definitely something. I mean, I played a lot of Ekko too, so those kind of bombs are really fun. Lack of vision control, lack of tracking, lack of awareness. This was a big one here, as I said, because it's downtime, right? You had to walk so far away from the Yasuo, you might as well have been dead. You basically had a gray screen effect on yourself, which allowed the Zac just to run it down and die as well. Don't do those things. Always here. It's always here. Should I be making this decision? Is there a better decision? What information do I have in my pocket? And he just gave up. He mentally phoned it in and didn't think about what could I do to climb back into the game. And if you're wondering, hey, what should I do to climb back into this game? Yeah, click the video on the box on your top right, and I will see you all in the next coaching.